Okay, there we go. Um, I'm sorry, I don't know. Xandu, what is your first name? Just so I know who I'm talking to. For those of you who haven't been on here before, my name is Caroline Quibell, and I'm with Roaming RV. Hi, Angela. Um, and we get on here once a week on Mondays at 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, and we talk about RVing for Canadians. We do have people from the States that join us because some of their issues are similar to ours. So today I'd like to talk about home base issues, unless anyone has anything else that they would like to ask or talk about or share. I'm definitely open. I know that Adele, last week, or I received an email from you a short while ago, and you had concerns about home base. And is that still a question on your mind? Maybe you could just type it in the question box. And I know in Canada, we do have an issue with establishing a home base in the province that we're in. And for a variety of reasons, we need a home base, and that is for our driver's license and for our passports and for our medical. You don't need a home base actually to register your car in the province, but you need a home base for your driver's license. Now, a home base can be anything. It needs to be a physical address. It doesn't mean you have to go out and buy a house or a condo or an apartment. There's people who are have rented long-term RV spots, and that can be considered their home base. And you don't have to get your mail at your home base either. Your home base, your mail can be at a post office box, but you do need a physical address for your driver's license to register it. Adele, did you have any questions? You were the one that was questioning about home base. Maybe just type them in. Nope, she's not talking to me today. Oh, here we go. Can you use someone else's address with their permission? What I would suggest that you do, yes, but legally you need to be living there. So you, maybe there's quite a few people that I do know, they rent rooms in a friend's home or one of their family members. They'll rent a room and establish themselves that way. There's ways of doing it. Just be prepared if you get asked to prove that you live somewhere, have a receipt of some sort, or, you know, if you want to make it easier, get your mail there. Or, oh, sorry, Adele, I thought it was you. I apologize. Anyway, Angela is asking, can you use someone else's address with their permission? Yes, but you actually have to prove that you live there, whether it's with a receipt, whether maybe your cell phone is registered there, have your vehicle registered there, just so that if you are questioned, that you can provide proof. The other thing that the benefit that's for too is our medical system. And depending upon the province that you're in, as to how long you have to be in the province to be compliant with your medical. Here in BC, it's called MSP, Medical Services Plan. And for the most part, we need to be in the province for 6 months. But you can get an extension to be out of the province, I think, for 2 years, once every 5 years. So depending upon what province you're in, and if you go onto my blog, roamingrv.com, I've broken it down for every single province. Most of them are starting to get a little bit more flexible in terms of being away from your home province for your medical. Now, one thing I just really want to clarify, not everybody understands this, being away from, as an example, if you are in British Columbia for 6 months and then you're down in the States as a snowbird for, say, just under 6 months, and you come back to BC, then you're compliant with your medical. If you go down to Arizona for 6 months, Now you have to verify whether it's December 31st or January 1st to December 31st for the year. But if you're in the States for 5 months and you come back to Canada and then you decide you want to go traveling across Canada and you're not in your home province for the required amount of time, your medical isn't valid. So just because you're back in Canada doesn't mean that your medical is valid. You have to make sure that you're compliant with what the rules are within your home province. Any questions on that? No questions. Okay. Adele, did you, or Angela, either one, how do they know you are gone? They don't. To be very honest with you, they don't. But if you are out of your province, and say you're from BC, and say you're in Nova Scotia, and you're in an accident, and if by chance the question arises as to how long you've been away from home, that's when you could run into difficulty. They really don't know that you're out of the province, but it's just a matter of if you have an accident or come down with an illness or something, and if you're asked to prove, okay, that's pretty much what it is. I can't tell you just to lie, because I don't want anybody to lose their medical or get screwed up on their passport or anything like that. There's ways of working with it. In terms of your medical, as an example, in British Columbia, you can be away from the province for 2 years and still have your valid medical, but you actually have to ask permission ahead of time. So don't assume that your medical is good. Wouldn't anyway. Good. Thanks, Angela. No, I wouldn't either. But yeah, each province has got different rules, but they are getting a little bit more flexible. I think they're getting used to having people, RVers that are full-time, or travelers, people that are traveling out of their province. So there's ways of doing it. There's no need for to be stopped from traveling or being away from home. Just have to make sure that you follow the rules, and the rules aren't that difficult. Any other questions from anybody? I noticed on my blog there's a lot of single or solo RVers, and there seems to be a lot of questions on solo RV clubs and such. If you happen to be a solo RVer, there's lots of clubs out there, lots of people that are traveling by themselves, and there's no need to no solo, but no RV yet. That's okay. You're starting. But there's lots of clubs out there. There's ways of meeting people. Escapees is one. That's an American one. If you join some of the clubs, if you go onto my blog, you look up solo or solo RVing, you'll see there's a number of clubs and stuff that I've listed. And if you have some interest, like say you're a photographer or a writer, or say you're into whittling or playing the piano, or find groups of similar interest to you. And I wouldn't be surprised if you wouldn't find another RVer that is single and that you can meet up. And they don't even have to be single, just with common interests. If you belong to escapees or FMCA, or depends on the RV, there's all kinds of different clubs that pertain to the specific RV. And there you could find lots of people that have similar interests. They may not be solo, but have the same interests that you do. So, and if you don't have an RV yet, that's okay, because I don't have an RV right now either. We sold ours, but we have our house up for sale, and we're going to be buying another RV as soon as possible and getting back on the road. We used to be full-timers, in case some of you aren't aware, and we camp hosted. I've traveled all through the United States, Mexico, all over Canada, and loved it. Absolutely loved it. So can hardly wait to get back on the road. Yeah, hooray, Angela. So Angela, how long is it before you plan on purchasing an RV? Thanks, Angela. I'm glad you're happy for me. I'm happy for me too. Seriously, I can hardly wait to get back on the road again. I love the lifestyle. Absolutely love the lifestyle. And I love the people that you meet, and it's awesome. Just awesome. So I push it as much as possible. And really, frankly, it's becoming a lot more common in Canada than it used to be. More and more people that are retiring or getting close to retirement, or even the younger crowd, are choosing to live a little bit different. My kids are fighting me on it. They're growing up and say it's a bad investment because of depreciation. Absolutely, they're right. Totally. You're not going to gain any money on your fifth or in your RV. That's a given. But it's a lifestyle that you're buying into. It's not an investment unless you're investing in your lifestyle. It's yeah. I understand the depreciation value. We've sold 2 RVs, and yeah, we lost money on them, but that was a choice why we sold them. But to buy something like this, it's not that you're buying a home and trying to gain appreciation or bring up the value, unless you purchase an RV that you fix up a bit, maybe an older one that's run down, and do some work on it and bring the value up. But what you're doing is buying into a lifestyle. And yeah, your kids are probably fighting you on it. I ran into similar issues myself, actually. Some of my family members just could not understand why we would even consider it. But I think it comes down to what makes you happy. So I wish you luck. But yeah, it's not an investment that you are going to gain money, okay? Like I say, unless you buy something older and fix it up, which a lot of people have done. There's no need why you have to buy something new. And I know people from British Columbia who've gone down into the States a couple of years ago who purchased RVs, and all they needed was a really good scrubbing, and the value went up, and they're perfectly happy with it. So anyway, I hope that helps you and answers your questions. I think it comes down to what your choice is. What do you want to do? And whether, it's not for everybody living the lifestyle. If you buy it and don't use it, you will lose out. Absolutely. I agree with you, Adele. I agree. If you buy it and don't use it, you will lose out. I can't say enough. If somebody is halfway even thinking of wanting to live the full-time RV lifestyle, jump on it. And if you have any doubt, if you've never RV'd before, rent an RV, borrow one, take it on a trip, and try it out and see. Go down into the RV parks and walk around. All you have to do is walk around through an RV park, and you know what? You're going to find probably 10 people to stop and talk with, and you can ask questions. That's what these type of blabs are like. And a lot of there's an RV lady on Sunday nights who is from the States, and I think Adele goes on there too. If you have any questions, they're very happy to help you. Yeah, you watch her too. Good, Angela. And if you have, I find that RVers are extremely helpful, and if you ask questions and listen, they're more than willing to help you. I've never run into a situation where somebody wasn't very helpful or wouldn't provide information. It's not for everybody, I guarantee it, but if you have a bit of an adventure spirit and like people and like to travel and don't want to be tied down to one place, I think it's worth considering. Personally, that's just me. But any questions, anything else I can help you guys with or answer, or maybe you can show me something. Russ on RV or TV just bought one. I don't know Russ on RV or TV. Who is that? Is it, oh, is it a television broadcast on TV? Not sure. Maybe that rests on bought what kind. Angela would like to know what kind did he buy? No, he is on. Oh, he's on YouTube. So, okay, there's a YouTube channel that we need to look up. RVer TV. His name is Russ. Probably got lots of really good information. If he just bought one, he just bought an RV. So he probably, I'm guessing, he's probably discussing the ins and outs of different RVs, why he chose the one he did, and pros and cons. So that might be a really good place to go if you're, halfway thinking about purchasing and don't know what you want yet. So Russ on RVer TV, I'm definitely going to be checking that out. So yeah, and there's all kinds. If you go to YouTube and just type in RVing or full-time RVing, RVing for Canadians, RVing for Americans, whatever, just anything RVing, you'll find that there's hundreds, probably thousands of YouTube videos, and any question you might have is probably going to be answered right there. I just recently, within the last couple of weeks, have started actually putting up videos. I didn't realize how helpful they are until I actually started looking for other videos to learn things with. Adele says he really looked and took his time and bought one in fine shape in Arizona. Well, good. Well, you know what, Angela? I would suggest that you look for his YouTube video. I bet you he's got lots of really good information. So, and that's what this is all about. This is not promoting the stuff that I've got on my website. This is trying to help everybody learn new, whatever they need to know in order to become full-time RVers or be happy full-time RVers. How's that? Yeah, do. Thanks, Angela. I'm glad you will. And I'm going to be checking it out too. I'll probably be subscribing. If you do find someone who does put videos out, yeah, Angela, you do watch a lot of YouTube. I do too. And if you find one, subscribe to it. If you like what they're putting out and you find their information helpful, subscribe. And then when they put out a new video, then you'll be on the mail out list and you'll know what's up to date. So I wish all the info had been out there when we bought. Yeah, I know. Adele, when I first started, I guess about 20 years ago, well, I traveled for a year all through the United States and Mexico and Canada, and the information wasn't there for full-time RVers, even on the types of RVs and such. None of the information was there. But I spent a lot of time in the U.S., and there were thousands of American full-timers. And so that's where I gained some of my knowledge, is from talking with them and then trying to apply it to us in Canada. So yeah, it's a trial and error. Yeah, before you bought your RV, it's hard to know what to buy, and it also depends on your budget, what a person wants to spend, whether whether if you have a fifth wheel or a travel trailer, you're going to need a vehicle to tow it. If you buy a Class A, then there's a question of diesel or gas. How long are you going to tow a vehicle behind it? Then there's Class C's. Angela is in the southern United States, interested in seeing Canada. Well, definitely you have to come to Canada. It's beautiful up here. I'm a little biased. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And we got some nice people up here too. So I hope you do. And if you have any questions about traveling up in Canada, by all means shout, because I absolutely don't mind. Sue, I'm sorry, why did I call you Angela? Oh, I'm sure. Okay, sorry. She says, I'm sure that it is beautiful. Yeah, and absolutely. Adele is in BC. She's in Osoyoos, right by the U.S. Washington state border. And I'm in the middle of British Columbia. And we have people that come on here, and they're from all across Canada. So if you ever have any questions about a part of Canada that you've been to or want to go to, I'm sure one of us will have an answer. Been to Vancouver? Well, you've been to a beautiful city. If you've been to Vancouver, I hope you like it. I hope you got to Stanley Park and saw some of the I don't know, it's just some of the beauty of the city. It's great. I love Vancouver. I used to live there, so I'm a little biased. So do we have any other questions, anyone? If I can help you, I'd love to. Getting back to the home base, if anyone is curious about it, we had a long-term RV park stall for a few years, and that was good. Adele says, I've been in all of the lower 48. Wow. You know, I probably could say I've been in at least half, but I can't say I've been in all of the lower 48. That's pretty impressive. How long have you been traveling? You're full-timing, because I know that you're living in your RV in Asturias, but how long have you been RVing or full-timing? And you know, that's pretty incredible that you've been to every single, like all the lower 48. That's awesome. That's really good. Angela, when you come to Canada, you've been to Vancouver, so you kind of know what it's about. A lot of people that come to Canada think it's not that big, and it's big. It's huge. We started in '98 in this Class C. In the one you're in now? Or are you in a different? If you're in the same one, good for you. Awesome. We were in when I traveled for a year, all through Canada, United States, and Mexico, I was in a 1951 Western Flyer and that had been converted into a motorhome. It had been used in the 50s for the Army troops. There were seats in the front, and the back was parked truck for all their luggage. So you've been in the same Class C since 1998. That's awesome. Good for you. Good for you. We've been looking at Class Cs as well. We borrowed one for 2 summers, and I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. It was, you know, I guess it depends on the length and everything, but yeah, we could go absolutely anywhere in it, and we could pull our boat. We've got a little fishing boat. We could pull that. Had everything I needed in it. We don't need anything really big. You say we, so you aren't solo. I was solo. I'm not now, but I have solo RV'd all through Canada, and I feel it's safe. But and I've traveled, just so you know, I have backpacked all through Canada, not Canada, but Mexico, Central America, every country in Central America I've gone by myself.